everyone. It's Friday. Let's hang out. Okay. Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about Hey there, lonely girl. Lonely girl. Listen, I never said I was a singer. Okay. It is Find Your Light live. And it's when I kind of sit here, I chop it up. Last week I was here just talking because I didn't feel like doing this topic last week. I had like a week, as a special needs mom, and I just decided to chop it up. Had so much fun. So today I just want to chop it up with you guys again, but I do want to cover the topic. Y'all already in here. Listen, if you are here, hi singing bees, you got to tell me how to say it because last week I didn't know how to say it. If you are here, drop a pineapple emoji. That would make me super happy. That's what I'm going to start asking you guys to do. Matter of fact, I should have made a banner beforehand and said, drop a pineapple emoji. Let me do it. A pineapple emoji. Yes, I'm doing it live. Okay. Emoji and say hi. Boom. Listen, let's do that. Yay. Okay. Hi, you guys. First of all, a lot is going on. Do you see this shadow on the side of my face? It's because I switched my lighting a bit and it's not giving what it used to give. Okay? It's not giving what it used to give. If you're in my Find Your Light coaching Facebook group, you will know that I have been switching up my desk and I bought a riser and blah, blah, blah. So like the lighting is in a different spot and there's a shadow, but we're going to make it work. Okay. But we're going to have to fix that. Anyway, how are you guys? Is anyone here right now? Drop a comment, make it. Okay. Let me see. Singing pronounced as singing bees. Okay. Well, girl, if it's pronounced as singing bees, what, are you Black? Why we always got to add extra stuff to confuse the people? Bees. Thank you for my pineapples. See, I'm reprimanding you like I know who you are. Hey, you. Hey, hi, Blue Eyes sis. Come on with the pineapples. Hi. Okay, I can't say Olusei. I'm gonna go with Olusei. Okay, because that sounds right to me. All right. How you doing? What's good, Kim? Hi, Whitney. Thank you for my pineapple. Oh, this makes me happy. I'm gonna do this. Oh, but I moved my flags. Girl, I was about to pull. I moved my flags. Chris, I used to have my VI flags right here because I needed to be ready at all times. And I just moved them last weekend. And see, I'm going to have to put them back. I'm going to have to put them back for such a time as this. What's good, Rel? How are you? Happy Friday, Yolanda. Happy Friday. Okay, wait. Danae? Is that it? Oh, you have a cute avatar too. That's cute. All right. You were trying to have a fancy YouTube name. I know what you're talking about, Natasha. First of all, let me take a sip on that. Natasha is my middle name. Spelled exactly the same. So, hey, girl, hey, you get extra time on the screen. Oh my God, there's so many of you. Okay, first of all, let me tell y'all this drama for your mama. Tell me how your week's been going so far, you guys. And now that you told me hi, put my pineapple emoji in there. Tell me something that's brought you joy this week. Tell me something that's brought you joy while I tell you about Meta Book. Okay, about Meta Book. So apparently, I am currently live on the Book of Faith. All right. Hi, Cordelia. How are you? Happy Friday. Hi, either Toria or Toria. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going with. Okay. So, hi, KK. This morning, I wake up. I got to switch accents for y'all on this one. This morning, I wake up and Facebook had me restricted yet again. You want to talk about suck teeth? I wake up, I get another notice saying I'm in Facebook jail. This is notice number 4, you guys. The first time, it was because I was joking around with my friend and I basically told I was going to fight her. You know how we be joking around and I'm like, girl, I'm going to fight you. Facebook jail. Shut my whole account down. Okay. Then, hi, Erica. Then the second time was because my mother, the woman whose womb I came out of, okay, was joking around about somebody having an iguana in their bathtub. And I told her to burn the whole place down. Because I was like, it's over. They could have the whole thing. they shut me down again. Right? I think that time was like a week. I couldn't post, blah, blah, blah. The last time, y'all, I have no idea. Hi, Tanya. I have no idea what I posted, okay? Because sometimes I will pre-post stuff, like schedule it out. That's what you call it, Rusty, not pre-post. Schedule it out. So I scheduled out the thing so, right? Went about my business. I out in the streets running my errand, and when I come home, all I see is a Taurus emoji and a knife emoji. So in my mind, being the hungry Taurus that I am, my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks, by the way. Being the hungry Taurus that I am, I only can assume that whatever it was I posted had to do with the fact that I'm a Taurus and I'm hungry. Them suckers shut me down for 30 days. That's a month, okay, in case you're not good at math. 30 days, y'all. I couldn't post. I could post after 7 days or something like that, or like 14 days, but I couldn't go live and all of that for 30 days. So then, of course, you could imagine this morning when I woke up, right? Hi, Sherry. This morning when I woke up and I saw that they had restricted my account again, I was annoyed. You know why they restricted it this time, y'all? One of my friends, her Amazon driver, cussed at her 4-year-old. So her 4-year-old said, "Thank you for the package." And the Amazon driver turned around and cussed big bad word at her 4-year-old. And she was upset and she posted about it on the Book of Faith. Okay. I said, woosah, breathe through it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, take care of your kid and tomorrow light him up for Amazon, on Amazon. Basically that. You know, that's what they shut me down for this morning. Restricted my account again. I couldn't post. I tried for my personal and my page, right? I couldn't comment back to anybody. I couldn't do anything. And I had to defend my honor because I had just posted that video. I had just shared Michelle's post about the correct way to have cereal on my Facebook page. If y'all haven't seen it, it's milk first. Okay. I will not be taking any further questions. I don't even eat cereal anymore, but you pour the milk first. And I couldn't comment back and defend my honor with all the people talking craziness because Facebook shut me down. So anyway, that's not what this live is about, but I just had to get that off my chest. Sippy sip. So I know all of y'all who are here from Facebook, like I feel bad because I want to pronounce everybody's name correctly and I know it's impossible. I'm going to go with Gianita because of the capitalized A. Okay. Hey girl, how you doing? All right. Hello, LB. How are you? So why am I on Facebook right now? Apparently, I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened because listen, I have sought the Lord of Facebook and they have never heard my cry before. I have written to them before. So this time I just clicked the button and a little thing popped up and said, "We're sorry, but we don't have a lot of people moderating no more. So we might not get to you." And I said, "Well, what is it? Who cares?" But then I forgot about it, went back later in the day and started commenting on the milk and cereal post and was like, "Wait a minute, I can comment." So apparently I'm free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. Chris, I'm no longer bound. No more chains holding me. But my soul is resting. Y'all know I got to finish. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Come on, sing with me. Hallelujah. I'm free. Yeah, Meta is sensitive. Okay, to the point where I'm going to just stop. It doesn't get hyperbole, and apparently they don't have enough human beings moderating their algorithm. So when they get you and you get on their bad list, you're on it. And apparently a lot of my, well, not a lot, but a good enough amount of my hyperbole are like, you know how we are. We brown. We be saying crazy stuff to each other in jest. So anyway, thank you for all my pineapple emojis. Let me go ahead and turn that off. That was a last minute thought too. Okay, so I asked you guys, I'm going to get to loneliness, you guys. I swear. But you know, it's a heavy topic and I don't want to stay heavy. Let me scroll back up because I know I missed some people. Hi, Yvette. How are you? Girl, how you doing? You changed your avatar. Why do I know that? Because I remember your avatar last time. Confused me for a reason. So this time it looks like a painting and it's wonderful. Okay. Whitney said what brought her joy this week is she got a new car. Girl is pushing a different whip. Okay. Girl, what you got? What you pushing now? Okay. I'm pushing 2 minivans and an old Saab because I'm turning 46 in a couple weeks. So that's on brand. Amen. It's on brand. Although, trust me, I fought in my spirit about getting the minivans. I didn't want them because I felt like they were making me feel old. But then when I got one, I fell in love. So I ended up buying the same car twice. And the way my son has a wheelchair is set up, it's the best thing ever. Blue Isis said what brought her joy this week. Tell me what brought you joy, you guys. It's the sunshine. Yes, the weather is just, sun is shining. Come on, Bob. The weather is sweet. That's what he said. Not Jesus, Bob Marley. We had in Northeast Ohio brought me joy this week because the rain and snow had the first part of the week was not the business. Yeah, listen, I saw a comedian post something that said spring needs to fight back. Windmill or something like spring needs to fight back. Okay. Spring is just niche. That's who posted it. She was like, spring needs, come on, spring, get in there. Okay. You got to swing on them like Mike did. You got to swing on winter. Get it out of here. It's crazy at this point. Let's see what else. Let's see. So they shut down my yoga Instagram saying I shared my password. No, I did not. Come on, Instagram. And have said they will disable it if I don't change my password, but the app won't let me. Fun fact, I can't post on Instagram and have not been able to post on Instagram for like a month. I know you're all gonna be like, but if you follow me on Instagram, you can be like, but I see you posting. Yeah, I can't post from my phone. So I can't post from my phone, which is where you're supposed to be able to post from Instagram. Nothing posts, and I can't do Instagram stories. It won't post. So I can film them and I can download them and put them somewhere else, but I can't post to Instagram stories. It's not been working. And so the way I do it is through the browser because Facebook back end be broke. Okay, if you're a content creator, I don't really do a lot of content creator type content, but the back end of Facebook is the most unreliable of the platforms. If it's one thing YouTube gonna do is it's gonna work. Oh, your video will go up. YouTube, listen, I saw Kev on stage and Melissa try to work with an outside company for Melissa's Love Hour virtual conference back in 2020. And when all of their attendees showed up, it basically broke the company's servers, even though the company assured them that they could handle all those people. And when I tell you, Melissa them switched up and went straight to YouTube because if it's YouTube gonna do what? YouTube's gonna work. Okay, Facebook on the other hand, man, Facebook is like Big Lots back here. Y'all don't. Facebook don't care about us. Okay, Zuck is doing what Zuck do. They taking away our freedom of speech. Eileen, listen, they be zipping my lip. Now, I would see if I was actually a person that was threatening people for real, they should get me. But and fun fact, I have some experience with content moderation in the back end as a support person for AI moderation on a different platform. Me. I have that experience. So I have an understanding of what could be happening in the background of Facebook, and that's what makes it even more annoying. Okay, and we're just going to leave it at that. All right. Chris, yeah, all my posts were just jokes. I could see if I was really trying to shame somebody. One was a joke to my friend. The other one was and sister-in-law. The other one was a joke to my mom. One was me saying I was hungry. And this one was me telling my friend that I was also equally as mad with her because the Amazon driver cussed her 4-year-old out. And I have been shut off all of those times. Hi, Nadia. Nadia. I said it right. Come on. Anita. Okay. I did it right. Okay, sorry. That was random. Sherry says, they may shut me down for calling a housing man. Listen, I don't know. I think that they're hypersensitive. Well, I don't know. Let me tell you something. I do not know. Okay. I'm shocked that I'm live on Facebook right now because this morning I could not post. they had restrictions all on my account. And I was like, well, even if you're on my email list, I emailed and told you guys I wasn't going to come on here because it was broken. Hi, Miss Bryant. Okay. Hi, Star. Okay. So you guys, anybody else I'm going through to see if anybody else shared hi, Lakeisha, what brought you joy this week? Hi, Sassy Lady. Thank you for my pineapple. I'm going to scroll down real quick and then we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Yvette gave me my pineapple. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hi, Julie. How are you? Yeah, Erica, I'm getting there. I decided not to come in hot on the heavy loneliness information, girl, but trust me, I got a bunch of information over here. Fun fact for everybody that was in my coaching group, my paid coaching community that I closed last year because life was chaotic, I'm reopening it. I have been reading articles, research papers, okay, books. I have been listening to Bible app reading programs, Audible book. I got an Audible book and a paper book going, and all the things, TED Talks, the whole thing, all about friendships. I am chock full of research about friendships. I have what is she? She is a friendship expert. She is a psychologist, an author. She is a researcher about friendship. And I have her lined up to come talk to the group, hopefully in May. If I get, you guys, I'm trying to log back in because I opened the wrong set of notes. If I get interest. So I'll put more information about how you can come and be part of my coaching community later. But yes, ma'am, I'm going to talk about loneliness. I just, last week I had so much fun just chopping it up at the beginning. Well, during the whole thing, I didn't want to I'm trying to get my notes situated, you guys, so I can tell you guys about what I've looked up. Okay, here we go. So yes, I'm getting there, hon. I'm just not rushing there because it's a heavy topic. You know what I mean? All right, you guys. So what brought Sherry joy this week is taking a day off. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is one of the most wonderful things. She got herself a new Kia Sportage. Hallelujah, you guys. Listen, Kia Sportage is in the atmosphere. Miss Brian said planting her garden. Oh, that's wonderful. Are you growing just flowers? Are you growing plants, or are house plants too? Or are you growing food? All right. So what brought Gianetta joy is has been when folks have shared their GoFundMe page. And she has two new yoga students this week. Why can I not speak, girl? Sip. Hello. The back end of Facebook is the ghetto. Okay. It's the ghetto. You know how you go into big lots and it's just stacks of stuff? It's like the difference between going into like a nice store and then going into like a Marshall's in the hood. Y'all know what I mean. Stuff just, you be like, whoo, it's rough out here. Hi, Gigi. What brought me joy, although I'm only 46. Don't say only 46. I'm right behind you. I'm turning 46 in a week, 2 weeks. I allow myself to be present in the moment, finally. Listen. Hello, growth. Y'all better clap it. Listen, if you young and you listening to us in our 40s and you realizing how some stuff like that, you got to celebrate that kind of stuff, okay? Because listen, ooh, here go Michelle right here. Everybody who saw the video about the correct way to pour your milk first in the cereal bowl, this is the perpetrator right here. So if you're on Facebook and you want to fight her, go straight to her page and fight her, because she out here putting out quality educational content about the correct way to eat your cereal. Okay, I will not be taking any questions from y'all. Okay. You just got back from St. Thomas celebrating me and your mom's birthday. I had a slew of mangoes. JC, I am finally planning a trip. And if you know, you know. If you've been here, you know what I mean. The whole thing. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to. Oh, Michelle is talking about her cereal. Yeah, she's the cereal one. So y'all need to go check her in the comments and y'all listen. Y'all take y'all incorrect way of eating cereal. I don't have nothing to do with. She's correct. Okay. All right. Seeing my plants bloom, Topaz. Oh, that's a wonderful name. That's my brother's. He calls himself Topaz too, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's also his birthstone, clearly. Miss Bryant says she's growing vegetables in her backyard and lilies. Oh, that's beautiful in the front yard for curb appeal. I would love to grow flowers just to have fresh flowers for myself. I That's a new thing. Old me would have thought that was ridiculous. New me, hello, behold, I do a new thing. All right. And I like fresh flowers. Now I buy them from a company, but wouldn't that be awesome if I could actually just grow them? Okay, boom. Let's talk about loneliness, you guys. I know that was a hard switch, but I'm gonna talk about it. So, as I mentioned to you guys, I haven't even fully introduced myself. Hi, everyone. My name is Rashni Cope. I am a content creator and a coach. I help Black women create more joy. Amen. Um, that's what I do. So this month, I was restarting my coaching group. I'm really not going to start the meetings and everything until May. So if you are interested, I will drop a link later in the information box. It should be in the information box of this video already. You can come join us on Vibely. And I want to focus on friendships. Why? Because when I met with the ladies who did the virtual planning retreat with me earlier in the year, one of the main things they told me that they wanted to talk about was friendships, how to make friends as an adult, how to strengthen existing friendships, which is my concern the most because I don't have a struggle making friends, but I always have to keep in mind that people do. I am more interested in how to strengthen existing friendships. And of course, one of the hot topics was what to do when a friendship ends. Okay. One of the ladies that was there literally said, she felt like she and her friend got a divorce and her friend took the kids. And I was like, girl, I understand. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about how to make friends. And I gave like five or six tips on how to make friends. I'm actually going to do a how to make friends challenge in my coaching group. I was going to start, but I pushed it back. And so the date, let's see, what date did I move it to? I think I moved it to starting on May 9th. So the weekend after my birthday, because I got to have a little mild turn up for my birthday. Okay. So if you're interested, click the link. It's the Vibely link. I think it's bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. And there will be like a 2-week challenge. I believe I'll post a challenge that you can do every other day that will help you if you are a person who just like has no concept of how to make friends. And you can just move through that. And hopefully by the end of that, you will have some idea, if not some actual fruit of connections or the beginning of connections that you can explore. Okay. So that was 2 weeks ago. I did that video. And this week, I want to talk about Black women and loneliness. I have a lot of notes. I'm not going to get through all the notes because I spent the beginning of this chopping it up, but that was fun. And I needed that for my spirit. And I think you guys needed that too. Okay. So let's talk about what a friend is. I told you guys this before. My definition of a friend, I made this up based off of all the stuff I told y'all I've been consuming. Okay. I wrote down a friend is an individual's voluntary network beyond their family. Okay. It's mutual and it's reciprocated. And you guys provide each other with things like affection. There's benefits that you guys have, and not sexual benefits. I just mean positive benefits. You support each other. There's concern, there's companionship, there's trust. Okay. Last time I talked to you guys, I told you that Shasta Nelson, I know her name now, had a TED Talk. If you look it up on YouTube, it was called The 3 Requirements of All Healthy Friendships. And she said that all friendships, based off of her research, she actually has done research on this, they require 3 components in her world. They have to be positive, they have to be consistent, and there has to be vulnerability. Positivity, consistency, vulnerability. That's what she says. So that's what makes up a friendship. I'm reading a book right now. I believe it's Find Your People by Jenny Allen on Audible. I also read her her Find Your People reading plan on the Bible app. Highly recommend, like both of them. And she said something, and I absolutely love it. She said that in friendships and in relationships in general, what we are looking for is to be seen, soothed, and safe. Why does my finger look like that? Oh, I was doing the dishes when I was downstairs. Focus. My fingers are wrinkly. Anyway, seen, soothed, and safe. If you have ever coached with me in a group session or individually, you know that there are certain topics that I'm repetitive about. And one of the things that I work with people on often is self-soothing, soothing yourself as an adult. Because It's a simple concept, but it's hard and we often lose that concept as we get older, right? So she says to be in relationship with anybody, but she's talking about friends. You have to feel seen, you have to be able to feel soothed, and you have to feel safe. So the alliteration. So, what do you guys think is happening when loneliness is occurring? I think it means that we aren't feeling connected. We aren't feeling like we have a tribe. Matter of fact, let me just ask you guys, who here is brave enough to admit that they feel lonely? That's the first thing I want to ask. Who here is brave enough to admit that they feel lonely? I feel like loneliness is the absence of feeling seen, feeling soothed, feeling safe, feeling heard, feeling valued, feeling like you have people who are on your side that you can do life with, feeling like you have a group of people or a person, it don't have to be a group, any person on the planet who is checking for you. Let me see what people are saying. Singing Bees said, my new mantra equal no new friends. I rebuke it. I do not welcome that energy here, like they say on TikTok. Too many people masquerading as a friend just to dig into our personal life. That's actually part of Singing Bees. Let me say this to you, and I'm saying it out of love. I love you. I think that that's part of the brokenness in our Black community that is tricking us into unhealthy behaviors. Not you specifically, but I want people to hear me say that. You know why? Let me read y'all this stuff that I got out these research articles so you could see why. Loneliness is killing us. We are not designed to be by ourselves. We aren't. So I feel like when people get in that space where they're like, no new friends, and people are this and people are that, what you're showing is that you have felt unsafe in the past, you have felt unseen, and you have felt unsoothed. And so now you are saying, I check out of that, but it's a trick of the enemy. Let me read it to you. Okay. People with these are from actual research studies that I read with my own eyes. Okay. Because you know how people will cite a study in an article. I went to the bottom, looked for the research study, pulled it up on PsychMed and all these different websites and, and read it. People with friends tend to be more satisfied and happier with their lives. That's one study. After the age of 25, the number of adult friendships start to dwindle. So that's normal, right? Society has told us that we're going to have this gigantic group of friends like the television shows, and that's not necessarily it, right? It becomes harder for us to form meaningful friendships as we get older. 1/3 of American adults report feeling lonely, isolated, and that is associated with early risks of death, negative mental health, depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and fatigue. Meaning cognitive decline, as in over time, the lonelier that you reported feeling, the more likely it was that you were going to experience cognitive decline as you aged. Okay? Having friendships has a positive correlation with better immune function. Your immune system works better, faster recovery from sickness, decreased risk of disease, decreased risk of illness, decreased risk of injury, reduced stress, and you live longer. Loneliness is as lethal as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Did you hear that? Loneliness is as lethal as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, you guys. So when people tell me that they have basically checked off of other humans, I feel like it's a trick. I feel like it's a trick because let me hip y'all to this. And this is the lie that we have been sold as Americans. And if you're a Black woman, if you're a Black girl, if you're a Black girl, if you're a Black girl, listen to me. Let me tell you. We were designed to live in community. You could take what I'm saying from a biblical standpoint, right? If you look at how Jesus lived, he lived in that little tiny place and they basically did these walking day trips everywhere. Like in the Bible, he wasn't like he wasn't flying, he was walking these walking day trips, right? Around. If you look at how Black people came from Africa, clearly, it's a very tribal and communal way of living. If you look at how most of the planet exists, that's not the Western world. it is still a very community-based way of living. And even if you look at somebody like me, who grew up in the Caribbean, where we are more close to the African cultures, um, it's a more community-based way of living. We are designed to live that way. So when I hear people say that they're lonely and they live in a Western culture, I'm not shocked by that because we are sold connection in the form of this and this computer screen that we're on and all of that. But we are less connected because the connection that we are actually innately wanting is to feel seen, soothed, heard, valued, and safe, not to just be able to talk to a lot of people, right? We want two people who are our solids, not 500 Facebook friends. So it's almost like if you only have the Western culture to go off of, and I wasn't even going here, so I don't know. This is where I'm going. I'm going to go there. If you only have the Western culture to go off of, you need to unprogram yourself because you're actually doing harm to your mental health and your physical health. And studies show that, like, when you get sick, you're not going to get better as quickly. Like, it's as bad for you as smoking cigarettes. I think the UK, I think I posted that article today. They have a loneliness minister, a minister of loneliness, because it's a health crisis. Because the Western world has served us up this independent and isolated way of being where the self, this is so deep, but we put ourselves so far in the front that we forget that we're designed for community. Okay. And that's my little side thing that I went off on. Cherie said she's introverted, so making friends is not something she does well. Cherie, I love you. That is a story you are telling yourself. I also, y'all like, I did not come out here for her to do this to me. I'm just saying, I actually fit the criteria for introversion as well. I am very good at making friends. It depends on how do I say this? Lately, not just you, I'm going to take you off the screen so you don't think I'm talking to you. The concept of introversion has been glorified, and it's wonderful because it gives people who are actually introverted a category to express that part of themselves that typically is not glorified because our society is kind of made for extroverts, right? However, you don't have to attribute just because you're an introvert to not having good social skills and outcomes. You could very well not have them, but it's not necessarily because of your introversion. And part of the change that you could experience would start with telling yourself a different narrative. Because if you've tried to make a friend or two and it has not gone well, that's actually normal. That's normal. That does not mean you're bad at making friends. If your expectation is that you're going to make every shot you shoot and then you're going to call yourself a failure because of that, then that means that what needs to change is the expectation, right? Because I don't make every shot I shoot. My husband asked me the other day, he was like, have you ever tried to do a bid for connection, for friendship with somebody and they ignored you or they basically said no? And I was like, yes. But that don't mean I'm bad at it. Okay. That don't mean I'm bad. I'm actually good at this. So Black Butterfly says she is actually lonely. That's normal. It's actually quite normal, you guys. Michelle said she is. Blue Isis says, I feel lonely much of the time. Sandria, I'm going to go with that. She says she does, right? Cherie says she's always feeling lonely lately. So you guys, let me ask you this. It's you and Jesus, which is what you need to start with. Let me tell you that, okay? Because one of the things about loneliness, you guys, and I'm going to tell you this. Let me look. One of the things about loneliness is, before I go there, let me say this. Just full disclosure, I am not a person who has felt lonely in the sense of a general sense of loneliness. I'm not. And the reason why, once again, if you've coached with me, you know how I am. If I can't find it, I create it. Okay. I'll be making it. So When I if the group of community don't exist, I make it, right? I'm sitting here right now and it's 50 something of y'all talking to me. Why? Because I wanted to talk to somebody about this topic. So I do that. Okay. And I'm the same me that y'all see here on these internet streets is the same me in real life. Okay. I'll be out here like I need to whatever. But I'm gonna tell y'all where I felt lonely. The first time that I remember feeling deep loneliness, like I was not seen, I was not understood, I had nobody that was in my space. And this was kind of imaginary. I have a support system, but I just didn't feel like that specific support system could understand me, was when I had my son. My son was born with spina bifida. I had a very challenging and traumatic pregnancy, and I have lived with my son and taking care of him. He's going to be 10 this year. And it is something that I felt so alone in because I couldn't find myself. All my friends had perfectly healthy kids, with their whatever. I mean, some had some troubles in their pregnancy, but nobody had what I had. Okay. Like it was dust. So they try to understand the best they can, but they could, right? And then when I would go into the spaces where people could understand what I was talking about, I still felt othered. Right. So that was when I felt lonely. That was the loneliest that I've ever felt, you guys. Linda said, honestly, I've noticed that my friends prioritize all of these things with men only. That is a good point. I was trying to tell you guys about, and I have her stuff written down and I didn't. Okay, so her name is Marissa Franco. She is a psychologist, a professor, a friendship researcher, and the author of the book Platonic: How the Science of Attachment Can Help You Keep friends as an adult. She also writes for Psychology Today and the New York Times, and she literally just dropped a TED Talk like a few days after I was emailing her. I want her to come, not I want her, I lined up for her to come talk to my coaching group about this very topic, what you said, Linda, because in her TED Talk, she was talking about how we prioritize so many of the things that we're looking for in only one relationship, which is a romantic relationship, when what we actually could be doing and what makes more sense based off of how we're designed and what makes people have higher satisfaction is to not only expect to get those things out your man. You can get some of that stuff platonically, which is why the name of her book is Platonic, right? Because she's like, it's not, one relationship ain't gonna do all of it. It's not. Some people might be satisfied with that. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. So yes, I absolutely agree with you. And the other thing, since we're on the topic, you guys, is one friend ain't gonna do it. One of the things I had to learn was putting so much weight on one human being, even if they're just your friend. Like we all are like, I'm gonna find my one person and I'm gonna feel fully this and fully that. But are you that for anybody? Like you can't even be that for anybody, right? When you go into relationships with other people, I'm talking about friendships now, you're going into it with a person. You're going into it with a person. And that's the part that pulls people back because in the past, they got hurt. They got hurt. And they don't trust their ability to go out there and feel that hurt again. And so they choose their current distress of loneliness over trying one more time. And that's just what be happening. It's a defense mechanism. Absolutely. Okay. I was just, I'd be listening and reading to everything. I don't even know which one it was. I think it was Andrew Huberman's podcast where he was talking about physical pain. And no, it wasn't. It was Professor Lieberman at UCLA, social psychology. I don't know if he's still there, but I'm watching some of his old, I'm binge listening to his old social psychology lectures because I'm weird like that. I'm actually a nerd. And he was talking about how physical pain and emotional pain register in the same places in the human brain. So, one, it makes sense that there are euphemisms like broke my heart, because literally, when you hook a person up to a brain scan, physical pain and emotional pain are registering in the same place. And ready for this? The study also showed that if you take Tylenol, you can actually lower the emotional pain registering just like the physical pain. Now, I'm not telling you to go take Tylenol when you feel hurt, but I'm just saying it's a real pain. You are experiencing a real thing. Your brain does not see the difference between when a friendship hurt you or when you get smacked on your arm. It doesn't. And that's just fascinating to me. It's fascinating. So, because of that, it makes sense that often we are afraid to try again because who wants to keep getting smacked on their arm, right? Like that's painful. But what I would challenge you guys to think about is which pain do you want? It's almost like you got to choose your pain at this point. Like, do you want the pain of trying again, or do you want the pain of spending the rest of your days lonely, right? And I'm not saying which one is better. I'm telling you to listen. What I will tell you is one of them is healthier for you. One of them is physically and emotionally going to bode well better for you based off of research. Research says you're going to live longer if you don't feel lonely. Research says you're going to be healthier if you don't feel lonely. Research says all of that. But also, each of us are individuals and we get to choose. What did Blue Eyes say? My pastor has talked about this since the panini, that loneliness is killing people. It absolutely is. And it's sad. And I understand because I've been in the house, okay? And there have been opportunities for loneliness to for me to experience it as well. I just choose not to. And that sounds really weird. I just choose not to. When I want connection, I have courage and I reach out. Listen, I understand that that is a skill, but I have also trained myself not to take things so personally, right? Um, I don't know if you guys, let's see, did I write that down? I don't take it personally. I don't make it prevalent. Like it's always, that whole thing where you say, it's always happening. It's always happening. And I don't make it permanent, right? It's never going to change. I'm not that person. I have coached myself over the years of not being that person. And now I coach other people to not be that person. Okay. So if I shoot my shot and the person ignores me, I honestly think, well, it's their loss and I move on to the next person. That doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt. I just saw somebody on Twitter today ask, how would you feel if somebody said to you, you're not the mold of person I want to be friends with? And I was like, the first thought would be like, ouch, like, good Lord, I am incredible. But then once the little ouchie went away, my next thought would be, wow, I'm really impressed with their ability to know what they want and to articulate it. Then I'd probably be sad. I'd be like, that's a quality person. I want to be friends with them. But I mean, they told me what they did and they didn't want. Okay, they set a boundary. They said, I'm not the one. And I would move on to find people who want to support me, who want to see me. And that's the other thing. So let me go through some of the stuff that I was saying. Give me a second, y'all. All right, let me check and see what else you guys are saying. It's as if many Black women compartmentalize, I can't speak, intimacy solely for romantic relationships. Yeah. So let me tell you guys some of the stuff that I was wondering. I wrote down no new friends. Is that really how we feel, Black women? We are some of the most supportive and we cheer each other on, but we are afraid. I feel like we are socialized and afraid, but we are not socialized to say we are socialized and afraid. We're socialized to put on a lot of bravado, right? I think that's why a lot of times people see me and they're shocked because they're like, gosh, that woman can say some of these things so calmly. How can she say them so calmly? And I'm just like, because I have done so much work, you guys, to not personalize some of this stuff. And I wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't raised up here. So there could be that. So one of the things I wrote down is Black women are culturally defined as strong. We are magic and we are always okay. Okay. So if we're strong and we're magic and we're always okay, how can we be lonely? Like, are we socialized to not tell people when we need them? Are we socialized to not tell people when we feel unseen? Are we socialized to not tell people when we feel like we need to be soothed? Do you know what soothed means, you guys? Soothed is like calmed down. It is typically I go to physical soothing, although there are other forms of soothing, but it's a really easy way to think about soothing is like when you have a baby and you go to like the five senses, right? So it's like something soft that can make them feel, you know, comfortable and calm, something that smells good that calms you, something that tastes good that calms them. You know, like babies, we spend a lot of time soothing babies, and somewhere in there, it's like we decide that adults don't need the same type of soothing, and we do. And that's just the physical soothing. Basically, we have to get into relationships because it's a way for us to co-regulate each other, right? And as Black women, have we been sold the lie that we are so strong and that we are so magical that we can't tell people when we're not okay? Okay. And is that causing us, contributing to ridiculous loneliness in us? What do y'all think? Oh, the comments just jumped. I don't know what just happened. I'm using a third party app, you guys. So the other thing I wrote down is, let me see. Give me a second, you guys. Let me look in the comments because it literally just jumped. So I want to go back and see. JC said, continue to carrying the hurt that's been inflicted on us. Absolutely. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, y'all need to come to my coaching group because we're gonna break it down for real. And we have live meetups, and so it's like Zoom where I can talk to you guys and see your faces. One of the things when you grow and mature, one of the things that will serve you well, not just in friendships, but in all the ships, okay, in your life as you get older, is to learn how to put stuff down and not carry it. Now, that's easier said than done because sometimes we can knock ourselves for feeling like we're still carrying something when it seems like everybody else has put it down. But your body, your actual physiology keeps record of your trauma. So people who just tell you to pish posh it, they don't know how your body works. But there's still hope. Okay? Because if you have been hurt in a friendship and you want to change that, the first step is to say, I want to change it. The next step is to ask a question. The question you ask yourself is, if I thought I could make friends, what would I do? What would I do differently? And then sit and see if you think of an answer. Here's an idea. An answer could be, I would look up books about how to make friends. I would watch videos about how to make friends. I would join a group talking about how to make friends. I would ask other people who seem really good at making friends how to make friends. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, like, I'm saying once you ask the question, if I thought I could do the thing, what would I do different? You start looking for different answers. If for example, JC said, I'm carrying hurt, you could say to yourself, what would I do different? Or how could I, if I wanted to get rid of this hurt, what would I do differently? And then think of the answers. I would sign up for therapy and talk through this hurt. I would write imaginary letters to the people that hurt me and then burn them or throw them away. I would look up information about how to process broken friendship hurt. I mean, Rushni, I'm about to do this. Talk to my group, my coaching group, about what to do when your friendship ends. And you guys, this is not something that I'm talking about just from my head. My friend, my closest friend, okay, stopped being my friend. Like when I understand it because I had it happen to me. Okay. So like you would get around a community that understands you. You would ask the questions. And ironically, in aligning yourself with the rest of the people who are seekers, you would find what you were looking for because those people are probably more likely your friends. Okay. Just don't go there. I open myself to friendship, and it always seems to circle back to my core 3 friends from high school. The new ones trail off. First of all, I don't remember the exact study number, so I'm not going to quote this properly. But basically, studies show that we're only able to maintain a specific group of friends. This social media thing with thousands of people is a farce. I think it was like 200 associates is all we can maintain. Basically, Jesus was right. Like, it's crazy when you look at the actual like studies, because like you can only have a solid 15. Like, you see how Jesus had like the 12 disciples? Studies literally show that like that's what you can have. Like, humans, that's all we can have. And I remember Jesus had his core three. You can only really maintain well them three people. So the fact that you, just because Sex in the City and Friends and all these sitcoms, okay, showed you these large groups of friends, does not mean that that is a typical thing or that you're going to have depth with all those people. So Melissa, this is actually normal. That's the other thing. Sometimes what we have to realize is what we're doing is actually normal. So we stop beating ourselves up. You know what I mean? I always been a loner. In fact, my family always jokes about it. And that's fine. Here's the thing though. Do you want to be a loner? If you're fine with it, no shame in your game. Be a loner. But you said that you are lonely. And being alone and being lonely are two different things. So if you are actually lonely, Cherie, I would encourage you to ask yourself, what specifically do I want? Like, before you just think, I need to make a friend. No, no, no. I would sit down with like a journal or something, and I would really be processing. What would not lonely look like for me, for Cherie? That's what I would, if I was coaching you, that'd be one of the first things I'd have you do. I would send you off and be like, I need you to ask yourself these questions, and I really need you to think about it, because you might be trying to create something that the world has told you you're supposed to create, and you don't even want it, girl. You might just want one solid person you could read books with. I don't know what you want, but you know what I mean? Or like something else. And so I would ask that question, because then you can move toward creating what you actually want, as opposed to what like your family, because you might have a sister or a sibling or somebody who's just like the life of the party, and you're over here like, I don't even want that, but I guess I'm supposed to want that, so I'm a failure, and da da da. And maybe you're not, you know what I mean? But if you said you were lonely, then I would ask you to ask that question. Okay, Gianita said, I do feel lonely. However, like you said, I try to self-soothe, and I'm a single parent of an adult autistic child, and he suffers from seizures. I feel like people empathize but cannot relate. So I just get pleasantries like, I am so sorry to hear that. Hope you guys are doing well. I understand this. And I would say to you that this has been one of the trickier parts of my particular walk in friendships, because my closest friends all have no children or healthy children. And so just like you, they understand it as far as they can. Okay. But they can't, right? An adult autistic child that suffers with seizures, there will be, what, to a person who doesn't understand your experience. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when my son was born, he used to have like throw up seizure things until his last brain surgery, and then they stopped. So I kind of get it on a kid level, and then I kind of get it with other contexts. They would be freaked out by stuff that's just your Thursday. So the thing about that is, you could begin to look for those people. I'm with you, Janita. I am still searching for the people that look like me, that fully understand what I'm talking about. I see them on my page. You are one of them, honestly. I don't have an adult autistic son, but I have a younger son with special needs, and you just kind of understand, you know what I mean? Like, you get it. So I'm trying to draw those people to me. And what you can do is stay close to people like me. I even looked up a group recently, because I think I was posting my IEPs recently on my page. And I was like, where are the brown women with the special needs kids? Because when I'm in these other groups, I be feeling like nobody understands my struggle. Okay. And I actually found a few Facebook groups. I haven't joined them yet because life is crazy, but I'm going to start. Listen, I'm being intentional about finding people who, when I say what's happening in my actual life, okay, like the insurance just sent me a paper back here and tell me that they won't cover my son's stuff, even though he was doing it all the time, but the doctor upped his dosage. So if we do what the doctor wants, we got to do it out of pocket. But if we if we want to keep going with the doses that don't work, insurance will cover it. Y'all, listen, Y'all understand, but y'all listen. It's all kind of that's all the time. Cherie said, I understand having to provide most care for my adult daughter for an extended amount of time. Yeah. So see, you start to stay close to people who understand, and you look and you don't stop looking. Let me tell y'all something. One of the things that I've realized about me and why I tend not to be lonely is I am not afraid to try again. That doesn't mean I don't stop. That doesn't mean I don't get sad, you guys. That doesn't mean I don't sit there and weep and be traumatized when the friendship ends and I can't believe this happened. And I thought we were going to be in it to win it for the rest of our lives. And how misunderstood was I? And that's not what I meant. And how can you just drop me like that? Like all of that. That doesn't mean that isn't happening. But it also means that at some point I pick myself up. I put on my rainbow shirt. Okay. And I try again. I'm stalking a chick right now. If you're in my Find Your Light group, you will know this. I've been stalking somebody for months. I'm about to shoot my shot to be her friend. Now, will she shoot me down? She might. Okay. And if she shoot me down, it is what it is. Okay. But I'm the kind of person I prefer to live knowing I tried than live knowing I didn't try. And will I be sad if she's like, yeah, you cool, but we don't, I will. Okay. But that's life. All right. She don't want all this pineapple goodness. We'll go on with something else. All right. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Whitney, see, this is what I'm saying. Whitney says, I'm alone for the most part, but I don't feel lonely. Correct. Because loneliness and being alone are two different things. I'm alone a lot too, you guys, because not necessarily. My husband and my son are here, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, especially with the panini happening. Okay. It's been me here. I've been in the house. All right. Finally, all of us are vaxxed up and we're ready to re-enter, but not totally because some other stuff's going on, but whatever. We're going to get there. But yeah, there's a difference. It's when you report self-reported loneliness, that dissatisfaction with your community is part of what is unhealthy. And you have to do something about that, because self-reported loneliness is means you are not satisfied with the community and the connections that you are creating. You're living your life and you feel like nobody's here to do it with you. If something pop off, you don't have nobody to come watch your kids in the middle of the night when you run to the hospital. If something pop off at the hospital, you don't have nobody to come grab your kids. Right? If something pop off, you got to go through this horrible experience all by yourself. Ain't nobody checking. You left the city. Nobody know you left. Nobody checking for you when you come back. Ain't nobody trying to bring you a casserole and knocking on your door all annoying. Like, you don't have community. And so we have this draw for community, especially Black women. Let me tell y'all something. I'd be listening to people tell me no new friends and stuff like that. And I'd be sitting there thinking, you probably the loneliest one of it all. That's a facade. That's a facade. Okay. That's a facade. I'm like, and then there'll be the same ones who are like cheering on Black. I'm like, I mean, I get that your quiver might be full and you may already have your people, and that might be what you mean. But when it's a defense mechanism, and then I see that they're solo dolo and they're unsupported, they don't have any community, they don't have any what is it that I wrote down here? They don't have any affection. They don't have companionship. They don't trust nobody. They don't support nobody. Nobody don't support them. I'm just like, that can't be life, girl. What you talking about? You out here, you talking and I don't believe you. Cherie says, I honestly always felt like a loner. Plus, I feel like people tend to let you down. You can't hurt my feelings if I am not all the way invested. Correct. However, Cherie, and listen, I'm not telling you that you're going to listen to a stranger on the internet and all of a sudden this is going to change. But let me tell you something. When you get into friendships with people, you are getting into friendships with people. Okay. The way that you work through what you just put on the screen, which thank you for sharing that because it's a common thought, is you have to work on your ability to survive when somebody lets you down. So one, you got to work on knowing that you will be okay no matter what. And two, you got to work on your picker, because those are things that you can work on. The better you are at discerning, if you just pull yourself out of the game, you never learn these things. But if you put yourself in the game, or at least you study people who are trying to share the information, you will pick better people from jump. So it'll have a lower probability that they gonna traumatize you. And if they even do, when they do something that lets you down, you guys are gonna work through it together because you picked better people from jump. Okay. The second thing that I always say when somebody says this to me is you're gonna let people down too. You ain't perfect. And I'm not saying this to you, Cherie. I'm just saying, like, we expect our friends to be perfect when we know good and full well we are not perfect. One of the ways that I am in my friendships, you guys, that work is I put that out from the beginning. I'm probably going to screw up. You are too. But I'm willing to work with you when we hurt each other's feelings. That's the best that you can ever ask for. You're never going to find a perfect person because you're not a perfect person. There is no perfect person to do life with. The best case scenario is you find a healthy and mature minded person who is willing to work forward with you. That's why I'm saying change what you even looking for. Blue Eye says, you know good and full well you're supposed to tie everything down. I'm being nice because I'm on the internet, okay? And they don't know me. They didn't ask me to coach them. But I gotta listen, I'm trying to free the saints. Okay, I'm trying to free the saints. I'm trying to free the saints. When I coach with my coaches, they be ripping off all these crochet braids, be out the window. They just rip them off. And I'll be like, Lord Jesus. I'm trying to tell y'all, right? When you change how you approach the thing, you get different results. Your hesitancy is valid and informed by your past traumas, but that hesitancy is keeping you from what you want. At some point, when you decide to grow forward, you have to choose yourself and you have to decide, okay, so what do I want? What am I willing to risk? What information is missing? What do I need to learn? Right? Do I need to join a group of women so I could tell them what my progress is like? I went out there and I did this, it failed. Can you guys give me feedback? Am I willing to risk not looking like I'm strong Black woman, magic Black woman, everything's fine Black woman? Am I willing to be soft? Am I willing to be vulnerable? Am I willing to tell people I don't know? Am I willing to ask somebody to be my friend? Listen, I am not beyond that either. Okay. Linda says Cherie's spot. That's understandable. I've experienced the same and used to be extroverted. I think that everyone, first of all, it's 6 o'clock, you guys. I've been on for an hour. I usually stop right now, but I'm gonna finish up and then I'm gonna go. I think that it's a common experience of maturing. And I think that there's a fork in the road. So let me go back. We all start playfulness and friendships when we're younger. I covered this on the How to Make Friends, Find Your Light 2 weeks ago, where the way that people become friends is first they're strangers, then they're acquaintances, then they're friends, and then they're close friends. Like it's like a conveyor belt of non-family people in your life. Like they're the family you choose, right? You choose them. And it's like a funnel, right? So strangers, acquaintances, and then friends and close friends, right? Your writers. And when we're young, we have all of these strangers we go to school with. We go into these places that are like we're forced to be around them, right? So if you look at what is her thing, if you look at Shasta Nelson's 3 components, we're consistent because we're in school with them all week. We're in church with them every Sunday. We're at work with them when we become an adult, right? But we're not vulnerable. And it isn't always positive. It could be positive. But it's easy to make friends when you're younger because 1, your brain development is different. Prefrontal cortex has not come online. And 2, you're always around them. So your criteria is different. As you get older, your criteria becomes more attuned to maturing. And then when you get into your 20s and 30s, that's when everything starts blowing up. Because now a lot of us have realized that we have picked people with no boundaries, no regard. And I just think that that's a common immature way that we all learn this particular lesson. And then there comes a point where some of us choose to retract and hide for the rest of our lives because we decided that our 19-year-old self made a mistake and we don't want to grow and learn from that. And we spend the rest of our lives lonely. And let me tell you something, I'm the other one. that point in the road where some people decide to go in this direction and they decide to just say, okay, well, when I was 27 or when I was 22, I made friends with this group of girls or this particular woman, and she ran me up and down, and I made a horrible decision and this and that and the other. So for now that I'm in my, now that I'm 39, that's the end of that. I'm never doing it anymore. You could choose something else. You can choose to learn from that and create something better. You see what I'm saying? Some people choose to hide from it. Some people decide that that hurt is too much. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying you're going to listen to me and all of a sudden you're going to go tomorrow and make a bunch of friends, because that hurt is real. I told you guys that hurt is real. Okay. But if you want some, I'm just talking to the people who don't want to feel lonely. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't want to feel lonely, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to. Nobody, I'm trying to tell you, nobody's going to knock on your door, open up your door and say, hi, I'm your forever friend. I know you. I see you. I will soothe you and you will be safe with me. It's not going to happen, you guys. You have to be willing to do something that feels a little risky. And you're going to have to be willing to learn how to manage that feeling of risk as you create the different life that you want and the community that you want. It just is what it is. And to me, that's like a maturer thing where person is like, no, I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna learn from that. I busted my face. Okay, I busted my face out there in friend land, choosing all willy-nilly. And now I'm going to do something different. Even my husband has let me down. Being alone is actually better and safer. I can't speak to what your husband did, boo-boo, because I don't know what your husband did. Being alone is your perception of safety. It could be. I'll say that to you. If being alone feels safer to you, then I will not say it doesn't. But I will say being alone isn't good for you. Right? It's not good for you. Being alone, if you want to be alone as a choice, is fine and a valid choice. But oftentimes people let fear choose for them. And I'm saying that we can choose differently. We can learn to reframe that fear and realize that just like every other person on the planet, we learn lessons based off of what we did in our past. And we can still create something beautiful with the people willing to create something beautiful. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's not trying to create something beautiful. The second go around, when you jump back into the water, you realize I can't go with everybody. That's not what this one was about. Okay. That's why I'm saying your picker has to be different. Okay. Because even me, myself, me, Rushni, who feels like she is good at friendships. I've had friendships end. I actually read a research study that said that that's normal. The friendship turnover is like every 7 years. So if you actually have somebody who's been longer than a friend longer than 7 years, that's great. Which is why I'm like, we need to reframe. Sassy Lady says, I'm socially awkward, which is understandable. Also, let me put this out there because just in case people don't know that I know this, there are absolutely people who are socially awkward. There are people who are like on the spectrum and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that you are, Sassy, who don't get social cues. And so they're kind of confused about what's going on. That makes sense. But here's the thing. There's actually a website. I believe it is called improveyoursocialskills.com. It is that guy just happens to be on the spectrum, but I found out about it because I'm reading his friend's book. It is called The Friendship Formula, and his friend is Kyle Shumway. And the book is The Friendship Formula: How to Say Goodbye to Loneliness and Discover Deeper Connections. And they are both like psychologists and researchers and all of that. And his friend was socially awkward, couldn't figure out what was going on, and so actually started studying it. That's why I'm saying if you ask different questions. Now, Sassy Lady, if you're okay with being socially awkward, then be it. What I'm trying to propose to you is if you want to learn some social skills, you should ask yourself the question of what would it look like if I wanted to learn some social skills? What would I do differently? And one of those answers would be you could look up the website I just told you, right? And then you could find a community of other women who feel like they're socially awkward, who want to learn some social skills that will serve them. Or you could find a community of other women who really don't care. who are like, girl, come as you are. We cool or whatever. Like you tripping and whatever, but we don't care. You know what I mean? But if you ask a different question, you get a different answer. Singing Bee says, people have definitely tried to be friendly with me, but my spirit not take them. And yes, my intuition turns out to be correct with time. They eventually reel their phony self. If you are always being, that's fine. If you're being approached, okay, so two things in your comment. If people are being friendly to you, that's wonderful because that means that you have an inviting spirit. But just because somebody comes to you doesn't mean that you have to accept them. That's how we get into problems of friendships that hurt us as children because we don't really have a way of screening these people. That's what I meant about as you get older, your picker gets better because you decide for your picker to get better. Now, if you don't decide for your picker to get better, then it won't get better. If you have not done anything to learn from the relationships that fell apart before and you just sitting in your pain for years and years and years, don't go out and make no more friends. Not now, boo-boo. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't tell you nothing about your loneliness because I need you to study. I need you to do a look back and assessment of what happened in that situation and decide what you can learn about your picker and about what you brought to the mess because you might have brought something in the mess. At minimum, you brought a broken picker. At maximum, you might have been the drama. Okay. And then once you figure that out, look forward. But if you're just like, I have pain, everybody's out to get me, you might just pick the same thing. It's going to be out of the frying pan and into the fire. If you are always having people come to you and they show themselves to be phony or whatever, then you need to be intentional to go find the kind of person that you want because the kind of person that you want doesn't come to you. The other thing is you may be, I'm not going to say that to you, Singing Bees. You didn't ask me. Your perception of what's going on could be being shaped by the fact that you think everybody's phony, right? Right? If you're looking for phony people, everybody's phony. But the thing about that is if everybody's phony, and I say this with love, that means you are too, because you're a body, right? So you walking around the planet assuming that all the people are unsafe means you also assume you are unsafe. Or all the people are phony means you are also, you know what I mean? Like it's a skewed thing based off of a trauma to me. Ambivert. I'm an ambivert, but more prone to introversion. Intellectual stimulation and humor are a must. I am very selective. Yeah, that's me actually. My friend told me about ambivert on my birthday cruise, and I was like, yeah, I think that might be what I would probably call myself. Exactly what literally you and I, you and me, us never part. Shoot. Oh wait, who are you? I should probably be your friend. Wait a minute. I was like, what you said, what you had said. Okay, all of it. Yeah, I'm definitely that person. And when I was younger, I thought I was an extrovert. I am not. I am not. And the reason why I know I am not, for everybody who's like, that's not true, is first of all, you guys would be shocked at how many content creators are actually introverts. Think about what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting in my office talking to a camera. And secondarily, this pandemic didn't do nothing to me. Okay, I was fine. Hello, I was fine. All right, being up in the house. Loneliness takes me to a pit if I allow it to. I have to constantly get out there and try new things. I might like to make connections with others. So that is such a wonderful insight to see of yourself. Because once you recognize that in yourself, you have the power, you know, I'm about to say it with me, everybody, to ask a different question and create something different. Now, I'm not going to say that we all are prone to just going out there. If I'm on this video right now with a bunch of people who are indeed feeling lonely, your brain has actually acclimated to that experience. Sorry to be the one to tell you that, but it changes your brain. And so the fear that you're feeling about interacting with other humans is a true feeling. And I don't want to diminish that because I understand that to be valid and true. What I do want to say though is okay, let me tell you this story. So one of the books I'm listening to told this story about this lady. She used to live in an African village. And she observed the women in the village, and they didn't have anywhere to wash their clothes. So all the women would gather up their clothes in baskets and go down to the river, and they'd be down at the river kikiing and scrubbing. And she remembers thinking to herself, as an American watching this from outside, like, dang, these women down there washing their clothes in dirty, muddy water. Like they was, wait a minute, did you just give me a super chat? I've never gotten one of those. Oh my God. My first super chat. How exciting. Singing Bees, thank you. Oh my God. Big up Breshni. This life is great. And no, I don't think everyone is phony. I like how you just give me money because I see Blue Isis. This is what happened when you snatch people eggs. They give you $5. Anyway, let me go back. Okay. So the woman, y'all see how unfocused I got? I've never gotten a super chat before. What? Anyway, so this lady was observing it and she was like, oh, they're washing their clothes in dirty water. Because it's like, imagine all these African women, they got their buckets and not their buckets, their baskets, and they scrubbing the clothes on the rocks and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, oh, that's sad. But then she said she realized something. She realized that these women were laughing and kikiing and talking about food and the market and their families, and they were happy, right? And she said that, you would see them walking and they'd be laughing and they had community and all this. Anyway, eventually something happened. The village got some, financing coming in for somewhere. Something happened. They started selling something. And people started being able to have like better homes, more permanent structures that were more isolated from each other. So instead of living like in some, circular setup that they all kind of were around each other and cooking communally and all of that, they were all like in their separate houses, which is very America. Right. And they all ended up getting like machines to wash their clothes. Right. So that whole community aspect of going down to the river and washing your clothes was eliminated. And guess what happened, you guys? As they become more westernized and they had more resources and they had more independence and they were able to just, take their clothes and put it in the washing machine instead of meeting up with the 4 other women and going down to the river. Guess what happened? The women became more depressed, higher prevalence of depression. That's why I'm saying that it's a lie. We've been bamboozled. Okay. We've been bamboozled. You have to prioritize yourself and what you need. I walked away from a friendship of 20 years a couple months ago because it became crystal clear to me that friendship was no longer a priority to her. And these are listen, everyone who is on my page, we grown, okay? We grown out here. It's adults I'm talking to. And I know I be goofing off and y'all be coming here because I'm goofing off and I'm still be goofing off. But I'm just saying, y'all can see why I say light and laughter. This is the light I'm talking. What Kim is talking about is mature stuff, okay? Because sometimes you have to decide that person is not for you anymore. And sometimes, you guys, the person is going to decide you're not for them. And your work is not to want to be for everyone. Your work is to learn how to be well with yourself. I think it's funny because Cherie, who was here earlier, I don't know if she's still here, she was talking about how it's just her and Jesus. And I was like, well, that's what you need though. Because when you get you and God good, these friendships don't mean nothing. They come and they go. Okay. You got like, when the friendships are taking you off kilter to the point that you're no longer wanting to reach out to other people, that is a signal that your foundation is wrong. You're putting the human beings in a foundational place where they don't belong. And that's why I say sometimes you got to do an autopsy on a dead friendship and see what they did that you shouldn't have let in your life, or what you did. And what you did was you might have put that person way up on a pedestal and expected them to be in a place that wasn't for a human being to be in. I didn't mean to preach on today, okay? But it came out. I hope somebody caught it. Catch it if it was for you. Which book were you talking about? Girl, I'm dropping books and books and books. Tell me which book you were talking about because I will tell you. Listen, I kid you not. I have a physical book about friendship reading right now. I have an Audible book. I got Bible app reading plans going. I'm reading studies. I'm chocked up. I'm just hoping that women will come to my group because I love these kind of conversations. As y'all can see, links in where the link is. Matter of fact, let me throw it up on the screen if I have it. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? I have it. This is the link to join my group, you guys. I think the first live meetup is going to be May 14th. Yeah, because I want us to have what we want to create. I want us to feel seen, heard, valued, safe, and soothed. And sometimes what we're looking for as safety in others, I'm gonna get deep with you guys, is safety in self. You don't feel safe with how you will react if somebody else is too human. And then that's the work that you have to do. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all how I get free. Okay. Cherie, oh, you're still here. Okay. I literally have never tried to make friends as an adult out of college. I'm almost 33. And that is what is incredible. After age 55, the number of adult friendships dwindle. I read the study and it was talking about how there are lots of reasons for that, Cherie. One of the reasons is we are no longer in school, college, etc. together. So we're not forced into these social environments where we are like, we can just pick a friend like that we see 40 hours a week. Two, oftentimes that is when people are starting to prioritize romantic relationships and getting married and having children. And so a lot of times their focus changes entirely. And because we are in Western society, the focus goes way over to the other side. Other societies, that is not the case. Other societies, people live with their family members and they are communal still, even though they are getting married. In America, it's like, no, now go over here to your man and your kids and head dive into that and ignore all the rest of it. And the last reason that the studies was suggesting was because exactly what you said, because people don't think they have to try. They don't think they have to intentionally do anything. And before age 25, it was easy to make friends because you were in class with them all the time. But as an adult, you have to do something. And people feel like something's wrong with them because they have to be intentional. But as a person who makes friends really easily or like goes out, I'm not making anything. You know what I mean? I am discerning and offering support to humans, and they are telling me whether they want to be in relationship with me, whatever you call that. Okay, whatever you call that. I do that intentionally. I do that intentionally, you guys. If I feel down, I call my friend. I tell her I feel down. I just wanted to hear your voice. If I feel like jumping off the deck, I call my other friend. You know, you gotta know who to call for what. Okay. If I want to bust a laugh, I call that. You know what I mean? If I want to see your face, if I want to, I don't. I listen. I'm like Rusty gonna be out here. Okay, Regina said. Okay, let me look at that. It's 6:24. Okay. I am an only child, 69 years old, so I don't have this lonely mindset. I have a creative spirit, so I learned early in life to create my own world. I have friends, several who are like brothers and sisters, but I will withdraw at times because socialization is sometimes too much and overstimulating, which is actually wisdom. That is good for you. I'm currently at the withdrawal stage. I love to be alone, rejuvenate my soul and spirit by myself without the noise of the outside. Absolutely. Y'all better listen to the wisdom. Regina came in with the wisdom. I do the same thing. Okay, because you want to be around people, but sometimes you do need to recharge because your primary, listen, let me tell y'all, Regina just hit it. The primary relationship that will help you with your loneliness is the relationship you have with yourself, because you can't build a healthy relationship with another person on top of a shoddy relationship with yourself. So Regina talks about withdrawing, and I do the same thing because I'm trying to get me right. I'm trying to be with me and God. Okay. I'm trying to see myself, soothe myself, trust myself, understand who I am, ask myself questions. Like she said, get rid of all this stimulation. That is wisdom. Hello. That is wisdom. That is absolute wisdom. Okay, let me go through the comments and then I'm going to jump off, you guys. That's true. One person will get on your nerves and can never fulfill your social needs and desires, or at least mine. We tolerate. One of the things that I have learned that has helped me the most is when I center myself and I realize that the person that I'm looking for is me. I felt that thing. Let me tell y'all something. The person that you are looking for is you, not a friend. Be your own friend first and build from there. And then you will realize that you don't have to have a best friend. You can get different types of support and belonging and togetherness and companionship from more than one person. Because imagine if you have a friend who's trying to get everything from you, like they sucking you dry, right? You don't want to suck people dry. So when you can stand on solid on your foundation that has been, you have noticed there are cracks in your foundation because you went out in the world before and you bust your head. Okay, so now you did the autopsy on the previous friendships, like I told you to, and you realize, okay, so what I do is I put too much weight on one person. Then I'm trying to tell you, okay, I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. You're looking for yourself. Be your own friend, because one person's never going there. That person does not exist. That person is Jesus. Okay, that person is Jesus. That makes sense. We're typically kind of stay in our zones of familiarity. I guess the trick is to keep expanding our zones. Yes, so I'm not going to go into all of that, but absolutely one of the tricks, I'll go into it more in like coaching stuff when we're talking, but if you're interested, by the way, bit.ly glamazini PC membership. But yes, one of the things that I'm learning specifically about the importance of play scientifically, because once again, don't ask, nerd, okay, nerd, is play actually has a scientific benefit for us developmentally, because it is a way of us, how do I say this, trying different options of outcomes without some huge payoff at the end. It's not life or death. And that actually does something in our brain. When we get to a certain age, a lot of us stop that. But yes, expanding your zones is allowing for different outcomes. Ask new questions, allow for different outcomes, reframe what's happening. Even in your lonely time, you could literally tell yourself, instead of saying that I feel lonely right now, I'm going to do, I think I wrote it down. Let's see. Turn your loneliness into an active type of solitude where you take control of what happens in those times. You could literally be like, I know that I feel lonely. So when I feel lonely, I'm going to do this. And maybe it's just a self-love bomb. Okay, like you come up with something, right? I do something. I give myself something. Whatever brings you joy and light. And you don't tell yourself, oh, woe is me. Nobody knows. Nobody don't care about me. You tell yourself, I told myself when I was lonely, I was going to see myself, I was going to soothe myself, and I was going to make myself feel safe. And so that's what I'm doing until I find the person who wants to do this with me. It's just, it'll make you feel better, right? As opposed to the loneliness taking you over, right? Yvette says she discovered that the antidote to loneliness is reaching out. Wow. And also reaching in. It's not just reaching out, it's reaching in. I'm trying to tell y'all. Reach in and reach out. Reach in. Okay. What you're looking for the person to, that's why I think I told Cherie, what does not feeling lonely feel like to me? Whatever you write down on that paper, start doing it for yourself first. You know what's going to happen? You're going to feel less lonely because you're developing a strong relationship with self, and you're going to recognize what it feels like to receive that type of thing. And so when somebody comes up in your space, like Singing Bees would say, and they full of pot of confusion and they're not on the same wavelength that you will automatically have a elevated picker. You'll be like, yeah, that's not for me. Because now you'll know what you're looking for because you're doing it for you. I'm going to add to that by saying reach out to safe spaces. Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to wrap up, you guys. I'm having such a good time. I think I wrote that down. So Linda said, reaching out to the wrong people could feel absolutely. That's what I meant by not, let me see. I know I had something in here about reaching out to the wrong people. Trying to befriend emotionally unavailable people means you have work to do. Because you need to figure out what's it. I told you, do the autopsy. If you keep going out and trying to befriend people who are showing you that they are not available for supporting, soothing. They are unsafe. They don't want companionship. They can't be trusted. And instead of realizing that your picker is broken, you keep doing that, you got to work on you. Okay? I'm going to tell you, listen, I used to do that. Listen, I'm not telling you something that I don't know. I was the queen of going out and picking up broken things. Okay? And I had to do the work to understand what is it about me that is drawn to brokenness. I did that work in therapy. And now when I tell you I be seeing it. But I had to actually stand back, do the autopsy, and be like, okay, so how did I get myself in that situation that was traumatizing and hurtful? And the reason why I got it is because listen, red flags was flying, and I was just like, do 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 because of my own traumas. Okay, that's why I'm telling y'all what I know. Okay, I'm telling y'all what I know. Miss Bryant, it took a while for me to be able to be alone with myself because I used to feel lonely. But now I focus on things that bring me joy and try to share that joy with whomever wants to be with friends, even if it's not permanent. We are socialized to think that being with self, something's wrong with us, especially as women. When I first moved to the States, people used to make these jokes about like, I don't have anybody to go to the movies with, and I don't have anybody to go to the restaurant with. And I remember thinking, I go to the movies by myself all the time. I go out to eat by myself all the time. I didn't even know I wasn't supposed to do that. Like what? So it's a lot of that is socialization, and you have to start enjoying yourself. I'm trying to tell y'all, the best friendships are going to come out of the you, because the you that is existing in a broken place is not going to pick a good person. Listen, I'm almost 50. I'm telling y'all the truth. I think being from the Caribbean, moving to the US, my family differently had the you don't need friends. You got family. Family will screw you over mentally. Listen, that's a whole nother life. I can't go into that. I'm also from the Caribbean. I moved to the US. Caribbean culture is very communal, and it does sometimes promote that thought process. The communal part of Caribbean culture has positives and negatives. I will say this: God designed you to have family, which is relationships you didn't choose, and friendships, relationships you chose. If you're from the Caribbean, I'm going to assume that you have a strong Christian background, and I want to understand where in the Bible did it say that the disciples were related to Jesus? We'll just go on with that because they just making stuff up at this point. Okay. That is said of us to keep us from expressing how we really feel. Oh, I think you were talking about like being strong and all of that. Okay, I'm going to scroll through real fast, you guys, now. If I missed your comment, I really apologize. Um, Blue Isis said the Bible community will have you out here grown. Listen, thank you for saying that, Blue Isis. Okay, so let me check it. Let me tell you. I used to have a coaching community. I closed it because last year life was chaotic. Things are changing. Life is not going to be as chaotic. And my birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. My birthday is Cinco de Mayo, and I'm starting everything back in May. Right now, I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys. I used to have 25 women signed up for my group. Right now, I only have 3 people signed up. 3, which kind of makes me sad, but it's okay because this is what happens when you're restarting. And I'm not gonna be a good coach if I don't tell y'all how to do it. I don't have no shame in my game. Okay. The vulnerability, hello, to tell you guys, I am out here trying to see us glow up. Not for the gram, not for the internet, not for the Instagram post, in real life. I don't care if you post that you have a crew. I don't care if you post that you have writers. I care that you have writers. I care that if something happened, you have somebody that is concerned. I care that you create the community and the life that you want. So if you're interested, this link right here, bit.ly/glamazini PC membership, I'm starting my coaching group again. Okay, I'm trying to get us back together because I miss it. And this is where I can talk to y'all, like, one-on-one, well, in a group, but, face to face, and we can really get a vibe going. And if you want to be in a group of growth-minded Black women, okay, y'all talking about y'all can't find it. I'm trying to tell you where it is. It's right here, bit.ly, glamazini. Okay. That's where it at. We definitely are socialized as Black women to be strong. I reached out to an adult very upset, and she made me feel like I shouldn't be upset about that. Buck up. Yeah, I ignore that. Listen, let me tell you something. Where is the video? Where is it? I'm not going to read it because I don't have time. I don't I'm an adult. Cherie, you reaching out to an adult? You're an adult. You said you reached out to an aunt. I thought you said an adult. I was like, you're an adult. Listen, I ignore unhealthy people. Aunt, I don't care who you are. If you're not trying to create what I'm trying to create, what you say, I just smile at you. Okay. God gave me emotions so I could feel them. They're not supposed to drive the car. They are indicators on the dashboard. He gave them to me, and he talked about emotions in the Bible, not as something that's driving the car, but as indicators on the dashboard. So I just ignore people. I'm old. I don't have time for that. I'm staring 50 in the face. The other thing that I always tell my coaching group is you want to check the fruit. Okay. How's that aunt doing emotionally? How are her relationships? You never want to pick from a tree that don't bear good fruit. You don't want to pick from a tree. Listen, you don't want to tell people they don't bear good fruit. You just observe and decide, do you like what they have created? If the answer is yes, pick from that tree. If the answer is no, you just smile at them and then you go about your business and you find you look for the people who are creating what you want and you get your information in that direction. Some people don't believe that there's real science and a method to being better. Thank you for that. There absolutely is, which is why I am reading these research studies. And let me tell you something. These research, you want to talk about mind bending, but it's fascinating because your body, your mind, and your spirit all work in tandem, right? It's not your body's doing this, your mind doing this. Your nervous system is affected by your traumatic experiences and your upbringing. It's all working in tandem. And so science can measure some of these things. It's just better for you to have friends. You live longer, you heal quicker, right? A lot of it is reframing what you actually think relationship is and what you're looking for. Being focused. Where you come from? This is the first time I saw you. Hey, girl. When you reach out to friends, but they make no effort to contact you, does it mean that it's over? Should you assume, or how would you ask them if you're still friends? If you reach out to friends and they make no effort to contact you, it could mean that. It could mean that. It also could mean that your friend is immature communication wise, and they don't know how to tell you, one, that they no longer want to be your friend, or two, what you did that upset them. So they may not be good at having difficult conversations. Your question, should you assume? No, never assume nothing. How would you ask them if you're still friends? Honestly, you guys, I would just ask them. I don't have time. I would sit, I would pray, and I would say, God, tell me what to do. And then I would get my courage up and I would do everything I needed to take care of Rushni, just in case I get an answer that's going to feel like an affront. And I would just literally reach out to them one more time and be like, hey, I've been reaching out and I noticed that I haven't heard from you. I love you. I value our friendship. Whatever else is true, don't make up nothing. And then I would be like, I feel like we're not connected anymore. Am I right? Or am I missing that? And then I would leave it. I would put my truth out there in a loving, kind way. I would prepare myself beforehand just in case I get nothing, because that's going to be painful. And then I would leave it. Knowing me, I would have a support system ready for the fallout. Girl, I would have a whole support system. If I'm in the coaching group, I probably would have told the coaching group I was doing it. And if she ghosted me, I would come back and be boohooing in there. Or I would tell another friend, I'm going to do this difficult thing. Or I tell somebody who I do trust. That's how I would do it. I would tell my therapist, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. The therapist will help me with techniques of this and that and the other. And then when I come back, if she ghosts me entirely, I will go into the therapist appointment and scream and yell and cry. But I would find out, right? I mean, that's just me. Some people can't handle the scandal. That's grown folk stuff, though. That's a lot. But I'm not saying it's easy, but that's how I do it. Yes, a little therapy will have you looking inward for your joy and finding treasures around you. Absolutely. The other thing, too, being focused is if your friend doesn't respond to you and you say that, that's fine. That's life. You will feel heartbreak if you absolutely were a real friend and you loved her and you wanted the best for her and you thought you guys were going to do life together. But ultimately, you have learned that she is not ready at this moment to have a difficult conversation. You are. So the level of friendship that you want to be in is here, and she is only capable. Her capacity is here. Okay. And I understand that because I've had that. where you had to really just admit that the capacity to go forward with you was not there. Okay, let me look through. I'm just looking through. I like to have, for luck's sake, you would like to have that one female friend. That's what's important. The part about it's so hard to find that one person you can trust and relate to, change your story about that. Tell yourself, what if I could find that one person? Or what if I'm not looking for that one person? Or tell yourself, I want that person. And then tell yourself or ask yourself, now what if I could find it? Or what if I just casually was looking and not putting so much weight on every person I met to be the one person? Like ask a different question, because you can find a person looking for what you're looking for, but it's a numbers game. You're right. It's not going to be just one person. You tried 5 people and the 5 people didn't work. Take a break, shake it off, go get a pedicure or something, girl, and then get back in there. I'm developing a friend through a person I met on Zoom call from an influencer. We're both non-traditional adult nursing students, and I love her energy, and I'm open to it. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? They out here. Listen, I got people in my phone. I am the queen of I need the digits, because we will absolutely go from this social media parasocial thing, and I'm just like, something about your vibe is right. Okay. And then we end up in the inbox. Okay, we get in the DMs, and I'm the one who's always like, now I need your phone number. Okay. And I kid you not, people in that same space who have went down that conveyor belt, I have been to their weddings. I have been in their weddings. They have been to my wedding, traveled to me, baby. Listen, came to the Virgin Islands and stayed in my house. I tell y'all. Okay, I gotta hurry up because I do have to go, Lord. I want to try again ministry. Okay. Cherie said she just want a small group mac. I can't speak today, y'all. Y'all would think there was alcohol in here. It is not. It's a smoothie. She just wants a small group, 2 masks, preferably with a young child. I have a 2-year-old and I want social support. That is a valid want. And I kid you not, Cherie, if you do the work to support yourself in feeling soothed and safe and seen, and you are willing to try again, you can find what you're looking for. I always tell my coaching clients, seekers find. If you don't look, you ain't gonna find her. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. But if you look and you think, ouch, and you take a break and you're like, I'm good on that for right now. And then you go out there again and you make your request known and you're vulnerable enough, just like you said right here. I want 2 and I want 1 and a possible. She said, I want 1 and a possible. Okay. I think it's crucial to mention narcissistic abuse. Why can't I speak right now? And the toll it takes on people on so many levels. Many of us have probably dealt with it and don't even know. Yeah, I could speak about this in a whole other live, and I have with my coaching group. Correct. I don't have the time, but Linda is absolutely correct. That and neurodivergence are the 2 things that I think people don't totally grasp when it comes to relationship building. All right, let me go through real quick and see what else people are saying. Okay, so she's been checking it. She's been in Mexico for almost 2 years now. Yay, and have a beautiful tribe here. But I'm the only one who is single and have a person usually always in tow that needs care, as my son had a stroke when he was younger. I cannot just join them when they are impromptu meetups, and I'm starting to feel a little isolated, but resources is a challenge right now. Yeah, first of all, I'm impressed that you're in Mexico. You moved to Mexico with your son. I want to talk to you, girl. But yeah, and listen, that's tricky. That's hard. And even I don't have it the way I want it to be. And I don't know, Anita, if we're going to find our exact counterpart, like the exact person that's having the exact experience. But what I do know is sometimes we have to look in places that are right in front of our eyes. So I might be looking on the internet and looking out for people when my son is in a special education class and the parents of my son's friends have children with special needs who are right there. You know what I mean? So sometimes we're looking far and we got to look closer. Oh, there's so many comments and I have to go. Okay, let me hurry up and just go through the comments, you guys. Oh, you were talking about their comment. Okay, I see. See y'all, see, for lock's sake, don't play now. Don't come in my comment section and start speaking stuff out into the world, okay? Because we be creating stuff over here. Don't come in my comment section and say you want something. And don't expect Jesus to try to send it to you. Okay? Narcissistic female friends are huge. Absolutely. I actually saw somebody on Stephanie Perry's channel who was talking about, she coaches about narcissistic moms. And I think I want to get her to come talk to you guys here live and my coaching group at some point. I think her name is Danny. Danny went no contact if you want to look it up on YouTube. I'm at a point where I'm happy by myself. I had a best friend for 20 plus years who recently sent me a text breaking up with me because she said I acted like I didn't like her, like I was better than her. I was so confused. I didn't have any energy to fight for the friendship. I was so hurt. At this point, I'm too old to try. Listen, you need to come to my group because this is what we're going to talk about. I had the same thing. I had a best friend for 20 plus years who stopped me too, girl. And there was another person in my coaching group who said that she and her best friend broke up after 20 years. She felt like they got a divorce and the best friend took the kids. I want to talk about that. So you need to come to my group, Benny. I'm going to say a Benny. Yeah, that happens. That happens. And you be like, what? Listen, we're going to talk about it. Okay. I'm scrolling through. Yeah, this was the website. Now here's the thing. I've never used the website. I don't know the man, whatever, but I know that. And also, if you want to improve your social skills, look at his website, but also just look up information on the internet because you are not the only person who feels like you are socially awkward and you want to learn some stuff. The book was called The Friendship Formula. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's called, the one I'm reading right now is on my nightstand. It's called The Friendship Formula: How to Say Goodbye to Loneliness and Discover Deeper Connections. I'm really enjoying it. The other one that I'm reading on Audible right now is called Find Your People, and the author is Jenny, Jenn Andrew, I think. It's a yellow cover. I really like that. I really like her book. I read another book. I started another book. I didn't like it. I had another Bible thing. I didn't like it. So I'm not telling you guys the ones that I don't like. All right, you guys, I'm going to have to go soon. And so I'm going to, I am so sorry that there are so many comments. And I didn't get to go and look through all of them. I'm skinning them right now though. I'm skimming your comments right now. Yes, this is the book that I'm listening to on Audible right now, and I really like her. I actually stopped another one because I was like, you ain't giving me nothing. You know, listen, every piece of content is not good content. Okay. I'm just saying. I mean, even I make crappy content. Okay. So no, the one I'm talking about is not by Carolyn Millington. It's by Dr. Kyler Shumway. That's the one I'm reading physically. I'm looking at all of you. The author of Platonic. Oh, her name is Marissa Franco. And I actually have been emailing her and she has agreed to come speak to my coaching group. Okay, y'all want to ask her questions to her face? That's the link. I'm trying to do it at the end of May. bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. I inboxed her. I emailed her. I sure did. I was like, ma'am, you come through. Okay, that's the name of her name is Marissa Franco. All right. That's who she is. And I asked her to come and she said, absolutely, I will come. And I was like, yes, now I need to get the women to come get this good information. Okay, she researches friendship. She's a professor. She's doing TED Talks and stuff out here in these streets. Okay, she is out here. All right, you guys. Benny, I need you to come just because I need another person that understands what I went through. I need y'all to come. I'm trying to tell you, I had 20 years in the game too. Anyway, so I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm not telling y'all what I think. I'm telling y'all what I know. Okay, so anyway, I gotta go. You know why? Because your girl actually has a job. I can't believe y'all got me out here for 2 hours. bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. It's my Bible community. I'm going to be really kicking it off in the month of May. I only got 3 people signed up right now. Y'all come through. Come through, please. It's going to be more of this, except face-to-face and more individualized. I'm also doing a how to make friends challenge starting on May the 9th. It's like little challenges that pop up every other day that'll have some information. I'm writing it based off of all of this information that I have been consuming. If you are interested and I get enough women, I will have Marissa Franco come and speak to our group. Who is Marissa? She is a psychologist, a professor, a friendship researcher. She is the author of the book Platonic: How the Science of Attachment Can Help You Make and Keep Friends as an Adult. She writes for Psychology Today all the time and the New York Times. And just like last week, she dropped a TED Talk on friendship. If you want to talk to her face to face and ask her questions, bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. Let me see if I have it here. It's on the screen, bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. Let me do this. I think I have it. Oh, here it is. As a link that I can drop in the comment section. And there it is, you guys. bit.ly/glamazini PC membership. I dropped a link in the comment section. I believe there is still a link in the information box of this video. Okay. This went longer than I expected, but I hope that this helped you guys. I really hope that it helped you guys. And I hope that you understand that a lot of it is reframing and a lot of it is self-love, self-seeing, self-soothing, self-safety, self-trust, the foundation on which you can repair this feeling of loneliness, because it can actually help. Okay, that's it, you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video, okay? Because apparently I can post on Facebook now, so be well. Amen. Be encouraged. Here's a pineapple cup. Bye, you guys. Bye.